Hello YouTube, it's been a couple of days since I've made a video. Today is day 5 post-op. I am still feeling pretty good. Today is the first day that I haven't had to take any pain medication. I think yesterday I only took 1 dose. I've been trying to keep things light. Tried to go to the store a couple of days ago just to grab some more sugar-free popsicles and stuff, and that ended up being a little bit too much for me, so I really haven't done too much exercise. I've been doing some light housework, and I'm hoping that tomorrow I can get out and maybe take a slight walk. I think that my last video I told you guys I had joined this forum on lapbandtalk.com. There is a lot of information, a lot of folks on there, people that are banded, just banded, people that are waiting to get banded, and people that have been banded for a long time. Lots of great information, so you guys should go there and check it out. One of the things that I found out is that, which of course everybody probably already knows, this surgery affects everybody's body totally different. So if you're surfing through YouTube and you're listening to different people's experiences and you're thinking about getting banded, just know that that may not be your experience. I didn't have so far a lot of the things that other people were talking about as far as pain. Different pre-op diets people were on. Some were very much more restrictive than the one that I was on, and some people could have much more than what I had. And also, since I've been home from the hospital, my doctor discharged me on the step 2 diet, which some folks are on, like, I guess, clear liquids for the first 2 weeks. That was not the case with me. Like I said, I'm day 5 post-op, and today, I'm still doing a lot of liquids. And so what I'm calling liquids is water, which I'm still having a hard time getting down. Not because I'm feeling restricted, it's just because I don't really, in my normal day-to-day, drink a lot of liquids. I'm doing sugar-free popsicles. I normally have about 2 of those a day. I am doing chicken broth. I normally only eat about a half a cup of that a day. I've been eating cottage cheese, again, about a half a cup of that a day. Today I actually used a food processor that I just bought, which was great. It was really inexpensive. I think it was 20 bucks. And it's called the Ninja. And what I did was I took like a chicken strip that was grilled and cut it into threes, threw it inside of the food processor with 2 tablespoons of mashed potatoes and a tablespoon of I think it's either low fat or no fat chicken gravy. It was already pre-made, and I had that, and it ended up being about 3 tablespoons of food. I think we're supposed to be measuring things in ounces. I haven't quite got the tools that I need to do that yet. I am no longer drinking the pre-mix shakes just because right now, financially, that is not beneficial for me. So before I started doing the pre-mix shakes, and before I started my pre-op diet, I had went to a health food store and found this lovely item, which is really tasty. This is what I've been drinking. It comes in like strawberry, cookies and cream, chocolate, and I think there's another flavor. It's Syntha 6. It's an ultra premium lean muscle protein shake. It can be a meal replacement. This one is strawberry. It is absolutely delicious. At the store where I purchased it from, it runs about 36 bucks. It has no aspartame. It doesn't say that it's sugar free, but when I look in the ingredients, it doesn't, I don't see sugar listed, but something's in here that's making it taste really good. It's about 200 calories per serving, and 50 of those calories are from fat. With these shakes, there's 22 grams of protein per scoop. So what I'm pretty much doing is putting 2 scoops in, and you can put it either in water or in milk. I'm using skim or 1% milk just to get the additional protein out of it. And I'm putting it in about 10 ounces of milk and drinking 2 of those a day to get my 80 grams because protein is so important. And then again, like I said, I had that chicken breast today. The cottage cheese is also very high in protein. It's 14 grams per half cup. So that's why I've been doing the cottage cheese as well. I do not at this point feel any restriction in my band. I'm 5 days post-op. I haven't had a feel, obviously. My doctor said that the band itself was going to be a restriction. And sometimes I kind of feel that, but sometimes I kind of just think that my stomach is still swollen. And so I'm feeling that instead. Yesterday, the only thing I drank was my 2 protein shakes and a half a cup of cottage cheese, and I was stuffed. So it just kind of depends on the day. When I'm more busy, yesterday I was doing a lot more chores and stuff, just folding laundry and kind of was really busy. So I didn't tend to think about food as much. But I'm at this point, I'm kind of feeling like I was when I was a couple of days into my pre-op diet. I really have to be cognizant of what my body is telling me, because if I'm not busy or if I'm not doing anything, I do feel myself wanting to eat something. And I did do that on Saturday, even though that I didn't eat anything off of what I was supposed to be eating, but I did have some additional cottage cheese. I did end up eating an additional sugar-free popsicle, and I think they're only like 10 calories, but I don't want to get back into that habit. So Sunday, I really made sure that I listened to my body, and I didn't eat unless I was hungry. And after I drank my first protein shake, which, had like about 44 grams of protein, and about 10, 12 ounces of 1% milk, I really was not hungry again for the rest of the day, but I still needed to get those additional grams of protein in. So I did, towards the end of the evening, drink another shake. And I did also just eat a half a cup of cottage cheese just for the additional protein. I do not want my hair to start falling out or to start getting sick or anything like that. And also, protein, I guess, is really good for with the healing process and stuff like that. One of the things, like I mentioned earlier, that I'm having a really hard time with is getting down liquids, or drinking water. Let me just say that. So if I don't have flavored water here, it's really hard for me to drink water, and I know that that's going to be an issue. Also, today when I made my little blended mashed potato, chicken, and gravy concoction, which was delish, by the way, I noticed that I'm not taking the time to chew things, even though there really wasn't anything to chew because it was more pureed. But I do think that this is going to be a concern for me later on down the line. So I'm going to try to, within this next week before I go back to see my doctor, I see him on the 29th, try to correct some of those things. Try to get in the 46 to 64 minimum ounces of water that I can each day, and try to pay a little bit more attention to chewing things, even though the foods that I'm allowed to eat right now really don't require a whole lot of chewing. So the step 2 diet for me is basically all high protein foods. They could be liquids or they could be mushy, or pureed foods, but basically I'm supposed to be eating protein at every meal. The other thing is I'm not really dividing my meals. I think I'm supposed to be eating like 4 to 6 small meals a day. I'm still doing the standard 3 meals, and I'm including those protein shakes in as a meal. Let's see. Have not had any significant weight loss, which I'm finding is pretty much typical for some people. I just got banded. Like I said, I'm 5 days post-op. My stomach is still swollen, pretty much around, like I said, where I think the port is. I'm too scared to touch it any harder, but it's only on one side. It's really confined to a small area that seems to be really swollen and sensitive to touch and a little bit sore. Especially the soreness comes in when I'm trying to get out of the bed, kind of almost like when you're making a sit-up motion, bending down. I really had to bend down the correct way, which is bending at my knees and not bending over. I've been finding that difficult. So other than that, I've been feeling great. I'm going to attempt to walk tomorrow, maybe at least a mile if I can. It may take me 5 hours to do that because I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be in pain when I do that. Other than that, everything's been going great. My husband was home with me all last week. He's been a great support and just kind of taking notes of everything that I'm doing, because he will get banded on March 13th. So we'll be going through this process together. And I'll check in with you guys. If anything else significant happens, it'll be sooner. If not, maybe in a week or so. Bye.